Hello friends! We're doing something I've never done before, which is I can't decide if I want to title this an April wrap-up or my 5 books that were 5-star reviews in April, which is crazy. Honestly, let's be real here. Who has that much good luck reading 5-star reads back to back to back each month? Literally no one. This was mainly for show. Aside from one book, because I actually read most of my books on my Kindle this month. I am truly a convert. I've been converted to the Kindle crew and I'm not going back. The first book that I read this month, which was a 5-star read, was The Traitor Queen. This is the second book in the Bridge Kingdom series. The drama, the action, when I tell you from the first page, it was literally back to back to back to back drama. It was spicy. It was pretty good. Well, there was a little bit more spice, definitely a bit more spice than the first book, but I love recommending this series to people because she's skinny, she's petite, and I feel like this main character is just kind of addicting from the jump because she's very strong-headed. She goes after what she wants. Since it is such a short book, there's not much fluff or world building, especially it being the second one. There's not as much world building in general. But so that was incredible. Truly an illuminating adventure. It felt like a movie to be reading through. And I also liked this book because it gives more of Eren's perspective, and that is the main man character in this. I hope I pronunciated his name correctly. Now, look at my cute ass Kindle. I just gave her a new little facelift this month. Isn't she so pretty? The next book that I read in April after that was Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. The cover looks like this. It was like literally one of the top books of 2022. My Aunt Liz recommended it to me. She always has the best book recommendations, and oh my god! I have not been able to stop thinking about these main characters. Like, be for real. Like, yeah, Elizabeth Zott. And she has her TV show and she has her little Nobel Prize boo. The one thing that I was not prepared for with this book was how heartbreaking it was going to be. This book is completely character driven, so if you're looking for plot heavy, this book is not for you. And normally I prefer plot heavy. However, I just loved how vulnerable and how real each of the characters felt. It felt like I was looking into like a family friend's life. It's a very approachable book. It literally flew through my hands. It's about a single mother making her way in the 1960s in science by her own, on her own name. And well, one thing leads to another. She gets fired for getting pregnant and not being married, which is ridiculous, whatever. And she has this killer show called Separate Six, and the entertainment industry becomes too much, so she kind of goes off on her own thing. And that's really essentially like the whole book, which is crazy to think about. Obviously, there's a bit of a plot twist at the end. My only thing about this book that I did not enjoy, it was lovely until like the last like 3 or 4 pages, or chapters, excuse me. Like the ending, for how strong the whole book was, the ending just had me kind of like, really? This is how we're wrapping this shit up? Like, for real? Kind of lame. Kind of lame. But aside from that, I mean, the reason why I got 5 stars is because I was literally addicted the whole time. Like the characters and like just how romantic they made like the mundane life feel, and it was just heart-wrenching, you know? It's sometimes good to feel things. On to feeling things, I then read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. And this is another book that was literally so popular in 2022. Like, I feel like if you haven't seen this cover, do you live under a rock? I'm concerned for you. I just felt like my initial reaction was like, I feel like she was a cooler version of me when I was in college. Like all her memoirs, it essentially walks through her whole life, I think through her 30s and 40s, but the big bulk of it is obviously like teen, college, just because I feel like that's when you're experiencing more of your memories with men and your sexuality and just the crazy, awkward, and exciting avenues that you can go down in that path. She's definitely a romantic person at heart, and I definitely am. How real she is in this book about how gut-wrenching men can be, how stupid they can be, how frustrating you can be within yourself to let others get away with treating you in such a way. And also like just the way that each of the decades that she kind of broke it down. Like, this is what I know about love in my like my year of being 25. Like, this is what I know my love, you know, this is what I know of love when you're a tween, or like when you're in middle school. Like, she literally breaks it down, sometimes by year if my memory is serving me correctly, but mainly by like decade. And it's just so real, because it's like, you know, at first it's like when he passes you notes, getting love bombed all the time, being skinny, and being skinny means that men will love you. And then as it progresses, it's like definitely fake orgasms, definitely, you know, give him praise for the good things that he does in your life. And then as it goes on, it's just like the brutal honesty of just be real with your partner and like make sure you're getting the respect that you need, because in the end your relationship is going to just be more well-rounded and healthy. It's just refreshing to see that you can relate to each of the phases that she goes through with dating and what love means to her, because obviously each of us have gone through that. Each of us have had a middle school crush. Each of us have had that first love in high school that you cried about for days and locked yourself in the room with the blinds closed and didn't talk to anyone because you were so sad and cried and cried and cried. And then your driver's license picture is forever ruined because your face is puffy from literally bawling your eyes out, because that happens to everyone, right? Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I feel like I highlighted so many nuggets of wisdom in this book. I will definitely be going back to look at my notes and hopefully rereading it down the line in life, because how can I not? And the final book that I read this month, and I am counting in April. I did finish it May 2nd, but I literally just had 50 pages to read, and that's like nothing. I literally have goosebumps thinking about it. Do you see that? Let's give a round of applause, because I do not think that this is a 5-star. I think this is a 6-star read. 6-star read. And that is House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City numero uno. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sarah J. Maas did it once again. If you know me, I have a bad obsession with ACOTAR. And then I gave Throne of Glass a chance, and it was Buddha-y, so bad. So I was hesitant, especially when I saw how thick it was. Like, girl, are you for real? But I was hooked from the first chapter. Immediately hooked. Like, literally, I was up reading late at night into the wee hours of the night, and I never stayed up late for anything. Once again, it's kind of similar to The Traitor Queen in the sense that Bryce, the main character, is very headstrong. She goes after what she wants. She's very for real with the readers. And what I did like about this book is that it changed perspectives between the characters, but it didn't go from like one chapter Bryce, one chapter to Hunt. Instead, it just kind of like, there'd be like a few paragraphs of Bryce. Most of the perspective was either from Bryce or the main love interest, Hunt. It would dabble kind of back and forth between other characters' perspectives as well, which I did enjoy, because it obviously allowed you to kind of connect with the side characters more, and also just kind of see the drama unravel from a more diverse perspective. I will say, I saw a TikTok recently critiquing Sarah J. Maas's writing, that the plot will be thickening, things will be unfolding, the drama will be boiling up, and then some random solution that you never knew existed came out of, you know, left field that Sarah just kind of threw in there. And I would say that I did not feel that way with Crescent City. I felt like the ending and the resolution was all unfolded really nicely. It blended very smoothly with the rest of the story, because, you know, I felt like this book was a lot more like science and modern focused, obviously, rather than ACOTAR. So maybe that's why. I wonder if I were to reread the ACOTAR series, mainly the second one and third one, what is it called? Court of Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin. I wonder if I would be more bothered by the solution to the main plot, because a lot of it was random, but not in Crescent City. And let me tell you, I I just loved the romance. I loved the banter. I loved that her job was like in a art history type of scene. Like that's just a fun world to kind of know more about. Le Baja, the little fire spirit girly pop that she has with her in the library. It's just like literally one of the best characters. You become attached to her little cat dog thing. And I just feel like it was just a very lively book. Like I just feel like she really poured her heart and soul into that, and it feels like you're joining the found family in that book, if you know what I mean. It also is another tragic story. I did have a lot of drama in my reads this month for whatever reason, and a lot of heart-wrenching things occurring, especially in the first few chapters. Yeah, I just loved it. I'm very curious as to see what's going to happen in the second one, because I feel like she really did build up a lot of opportunities for the second one. I will say, this is a spoiler if you haven't read Crescent City, so if you don't want spoilers, I will see you next week. Love you, bye. Why did she take Hunt back? I'm sorry. Was anyone else kind of frustrated by that? Because he did fucked up shit on the boat, buying the synth. Excuse me, sir? And it honestly makes me not really trust his narrative a lot, because that is a huge plot twist that he just decided to begin another rebellion on his own without even so much as warning Bryce with a peep of it. Like, what? It makes me mistrust his love for her a little bit. It makes me mistrust where his head's at going into the next book, especially now that, you know, he's no longer a slave. Is he really gonna stick around? Is he really gonna stick around with Bryce? Or is it just a romance by a proximity type of situation, and now that he's free, he's just gonna find some other baddie? I don't know. I don't really trust Hunt at this moment. But I did love that there was not just high fae versus human in this book. I liked that there was dimension into the types of witches, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the other creatures that were in the book, but I just like that there was more hierarchy of, and angels, obviously, angels, fae, mer people. There's all kinds of fun stuff, and I just feel like it makes the world just seem like, as you're reading it, it's just more lively and more fun. And I feel like it just makes Bryce a better underdog when she overcomes everything. I will say it sounds like they're really downplaying her power of being the Starlight Fae, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. I feel like they're downplaying it, because if it's truly just a big flash of light, is that really that much power? Like, I understand that it could scare the demons from hell, because obviously there's no light down there, I would imagine. But on the battlefield, a really bright light, couldn't they just have sunglasses on? Like, is it that powerful? Like, I mean, obviously she does have the extra tool of the horn being tattooed into her back, which is also another, I don't really understand the science behind that one, but I just know it's going to get her into some trouble in the next book, obviously. I had a dream that Sarah J. Maas finally made a series where Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City all mushed together. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. And I'm kind of holding out that that actually is going to happen, because that would be just like epic, you know? But yeah, so sorry to kind of juke you out with the five-star reads of April. It really was just 4. However, I feel like Crescent City could count as 2, because it literally looks like the Bible. It's like 800 pages. But that is the most reading I've ever done in a month, and probably my whole adult life. So thank you for letting me share my thoughts with you. I feel like I have been talking to the camera forever. As my Kindle says, you're super funny and everyone really likes you. So always remember that. And know that I love you, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye.